Keyboy can play
Oke
Luke can
cuy,
play both
kita
of them
masuk
do
ke
really
game
well,
yang
and it sets
pertama,
up for
Indonesia
now them to get a
versus
counter matchup
Myanmar,
when they get to see what Myanmar go for.
IESF
And also, just as a
MLBB
note, I think this
2024
Yuzhong
ya
is
guys ya.
still the portrait. This new portrait is for
Indonesia
Seoul,
Myanmar
I'm assuming.
Moskop.
Okay. Interesting, because as I was saying and looking at their
Wow.
old lineup
Moskop
from one of the games
diambil,
that they swept
cuy.
here, the Dairoth was a part of this lineup.
Myanmar.
You know, the Dairoth they played last time
Kalau
was
ada
picked up there with the Ruby and the Luyi.
Interpret guys
The
ya,
difference, of course, this
cewek
time
kalau
is they
ada
have a Moskov. Like I was
Baksia
saying,
Tank,
what is
Baksia
going to be that good
Albert.
matchup for the Claude in lane? At least with the Moskov, you should be
Tinggal
relatively
hero
okay to farm
tinggal
out
hero
pretty well.
Lutfi, cuy.
And you know that Claude
Tinggal hero
overall
Lutfi guys,
presence in the game,
hero apa guys,
farms
di
lanes really
X9
quickly,
guys.
like later on using the Blazing Duet and can join fights. So why not pick Moskov? So at least you have the
Apakah
Spear of
edit di
Destruction. You
X9
can hang out in the
atau
lane a
edit
little bit
armor
longer
cuy?
if you want to. And hopefully you land the Spear of Destruction. You can follow
Lawan
up with
Dedot.
it. I think part of that too is
Masya
if they
guys ya.
follow up with the Moskov, they set up really well with the armor penetration from a Dairoth. But look
Bagus
at
sekali
this.
cuy untuk
The
Indonesia
Masha
guys.
comes through, and we've seen teams.
Masha.
I think even Malaysia banned out the
banned it
Masha
twice
against Indonesia because they know that it is devastating here in the hands of Lutfi.
Especially with the Sky Piercer. We were talking about abusing the Sky
Masha.
Piercer on the Roger, on the Brody, but I think
Thunder
if you
Pierce.
think Sky Piercer, right? Thunder Pierce definitely comes to mind. You know, there's already Sky built there. You know, they are the Sky Kings. That's what we call
Moskop,
them in
Ferdin,
Indonesia.
Derot,
And
Luyi,
Thunder
dan
type, but your ultimate Masha
Ruby.
fits to that, Sky Piercer
Interpret.
category so well. And I'm really interested to see how
Masya,
Lutfi plays
Baksia,
this Masha.
Claude,
'cause
Parsha,
it's so
dan Edit.
weird for Lutfi. We didn't get to see it for the most part in the regular season of MPL
The
Indonesia.
Lutfi.
We didn't even get to see it for the most part in the playoffs. He started picking it up after losing to Luke, an opponent of his who plays the Masha a whole lot. So the fact that Lutfi, now he's added a hero that he wasn't comfortable on to
Oke
his
ya guys ya.
arsenal and making it a prio pick for himself, making it a power
Kita
pick.
fokus dulu
It's
cuy.
really impressive.
Well, we're going to find out here, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the match. It's a best of three
Welcome
between
to the
Myanmar
match.
and Indonesia
Game
to secure
pertama.
a slot, the first one to the grand
In
final,
the
of course,
pride.
later on, but more so for the WEC in Riyadh for 2024. It starts here in this best
The
of three.
Baksia.
We saw both lineups. We talked about it quite extensively, and once we get a look also at the emblems, I'm not sure if anything stuck out just yet. It is Ken rolling with the Impure Rage. I like the fact that Fredrin is still versatile enough to pick like 3 different emblem
Ooh.
sets, maybe 4, and kind of play around
Sabar ya
with
guys
that.
ya.
Also, there's a whole lot of lethal
Parsha.
ignitions here. Zidez is also using the Brave Smite. We've seen this plenty of times with Ruby, and even on the other side, nothing too
Dapat
crazy
buat.
from this. Lutfi does have the lethal ignition
Dapat
himself, so we'll see how this kind
Yang
of
pertama buat.
new signature pick, I guess you could say. It's like a new pick in his repertoire to make work because he's
Yep.
dealt with it so many times over in
Yep,
Indonesia
yep.
against his other opponents. So it makes me really wonder too how this is going to work in the grander scheme of things, these later team fights when we're talking about
Curi
especially
aja,
the Sky
bud.
Piercer being built and online. And so for
Mantap, bud.
now, neither teams are
Kelas,
really
bud.
going to be pushing the momentum just yet. I think with these lineups for both of them, you just want to wait for
Belakang,
the turtle. It looks
dapat.
like Albert, we're going to go
Oh,
in,
nggak
but
dipaksa coy.
just visiting, I mean, really, you can't
Masih
get the skill
bersabar.
that you're looking for, but everybody needs to get these level 4s before this fight does become, before it does break out for that first turtle. So right now,
Masih bersabar nanti. Ada gede.
last minion to go ahead and just look at the attention here. They might try to go for something, try to pull like a cheeky
Catatan
move
pertama.
up top, but Turtle's up. And with that,
Baksia
Ruby
melawan
doesn't have room
Ferdin,
for this
jungle
yet, so the
tank dua-dua,
wait
cuy.
Sands also waiting, so it's up to Ken. Go ahead and stall out that Turtle, start it up. But look at Indonesia also getting in position here.
Indonesia.
From Myanmar so far, Ken holding on to that turtle. Albert
From
comes to
Myanmar.
the shield unity keyboard looking for an angle now of that onward. You can see that Albert will go
Bam,
for shield unity
boy.
onto Zide. Let's give me the feather airstrike as well.
Parsha,
As well
Albert.
the honor to get a claim for his blood.
Dapat,
Albert with the
bud.
victory battle, but in the
Kelas,
back is
bud.
Ruby DD who claims the kill on the
Kejar.
side. But Lutfi flippers
Kelas
forward now
mati.
and just goes in for the last
The
two
Lutfi.
scratches to get the trade in favor of Indonesia. Keyboy continuing with the onward and the earth shatter. Knocking Ken up, doing some damage, and he does have the primal wrap, so he can try to go for a little bit more damage here.
Keyboy.
Razor's wrap forcing him out. He will be able to onward backwards again, just buying some time. Finally gets that primal wrath off. But yeah, early on, a win for Indo.
Yep, Keyboy knew. He like,
Yep,
I can stay
si
here and
boy.
just be annoying for a while because I have Primal Wrath.
Balik, boy.
And yeah, they came out on top of that whole exchange. Oh, mid lane.
Great pickup on the Suns by Zide with the flicker into the I'm Offended, straight into the follow-up coming in from Myanmar. Well played to equalize the
Wah,
kill.
Lui.
On the board, diversion into the bottom
Jebret
lane.
Oh.
ke
Have the I'm
bawah dia
Offended
guys ya.
though, so really no threat of taking CW down, not just yet.
Yeah, it was a good idea, like send the package, you know, type thing. Here we go. I was going to talk about the items because that
Don't
whole
look me.
exchange, how it happened. We might not get a chance, though.
Dapat.
Shatter. Onward not connecting earlier.
Paksa,
Julian need to lock her
paksa,
down. Don't
dapat,
sit it.
dapat,
Able to pop in the I'm
dapat ya
Offended.
guys ya.
Will fall to the Poissons as Juno in the bottom lane will still be able to use the Abyss Walker and the Spear of Destruction as well to try to defend and clear out these minion waves from pushing into that turret.
Okay.
Okay.
You know, I wanted to get a chance to talk about the items, but it looks like Indonesia just wants to keep fighting.
No
Porsche.
Feather Airstrike, no Thunderclap just yet. Lippy decides to use it.
Suns.
Try to go for that execute, and Sans will still be able to claim that kill up top.
All right, so Indonesia
Kill
fighting
off
picks where they
top.
can. They might just go for another. Juno gonna be
Wah,
fine.
paksa boy.
Gets out of there with a walker. But so this is the thing,
Santai,
man.
boy.
Like, with the lead that Indonesia has gotten themselves. Oh no, Albert, is he gonna be in trouble?
Taking a whole lot of damage. The chain CC is low.
editnya.
From Keyboy now to go for the re-engage. Sans follows up as
Paksa,
well. That's
ulti
gonna be
paksa.
blazing wet from CW as he pops in a Purify to get out of the
Blazing duet
Excursion
from
CC.
cewek.
And now goes back to the Battle Mirror image onto the
Masih
turtle.
bersabar ya, guys,
Second
ya.
turtle of the game. Albert on a diversion. Trying to give
Wah,
Ken a
belakang.
little bit of an angle. Spear
Wah,
of Destruction.
belakang.
Albert just secures it with a Retribution. CW, no
Wah,
Purify going to
gila.
be caught on the flanks. And Myanmar will be able to get a trade on
Flank.
for that turtle. It's a kill onto the gold lane.
Okay, maybe we get a chance
god
now. Let's
line
look at it
dapat.
real quick before Ken starts a fight. But first items kind of falling into place already. You got
Kamu
a
nak
Corrosion
cuy.
Scythe here for Juno. He's going to need a little more time to build up because the same thing is there for CW, and he's on to his second item. With that too, Sky Piercer already being locked in for Loopy. That first item, that rush, is exactly what we were thinking about for the Masha, and
Di
that
atas.
can be quite devastating. You got the wings already picked up by Sans. Helps with that little bit of shielding and a little bit more mobility that already Farsa
gini,
has a
cuy.
ton of. So
Wow.
with this, you know, this early
Wah,
game kind
Farsanya,
of
Sans.
advantage that Indonesia was able to get themselves gives them
Langsung
this
buat itu,
upper
cuy.
hand, plus the defensive items they've already
Gile.
locked in. Still looking to get some of these first ones locked in. Oh, Albert, this is what I'm saying. He's quite tanky, even with the Baksha. So
Kelima,
the
guys, ya.
classic matchup between the Fredrin.
What?
Oh, wow, Loopy. That's the Thunderclap Pierce.
The
We were
Lutfi.
talking about the Sky Piercer, the Thunder Pierce, we might as well call it now, with how he's able to utilize the Masha. But remember, during the rosters, you know, when we're talking looking at the lineups, we were talking about how Ruby DD has so much more experience compared
Wah,
to some of the
dikejar.
members from Indonesia,
Gila,
especially
Lutfi.
his lane opponent. Lutfi's a rookie in MPL ID in Indonesia. He just got a solo kill against a legend.
Man, right now, they're just playing with these timings that they have on
Rookie dah, guys, ya.
especially
Di
the different
MPL
lanes, but
Indonesia, guys,
Loopy
ya.
especially
The
with that
Lutfi.
Sky Piercer, like we were talking about, you know, and we know. Hold on, Keyboy diversion.
Keyboy.
Okay, it's gonna be Keyboy caught in, and that's gonna be everything in the kitchen sink.
Balik, boy.
Keyboy still able to flicker out
Balik,
to
boy.
safety, but the Spirit of the
Ah,
Destruction
bisa, boy.
and the follow-up from Ruby DD as he flickers in will be able to catch Keyboy and take him down in the 6th minute of the game. Straight for the turtle.
Aman, boy.
Final one of this game to spawn back into the land of Dawn. Straight onto it, though. It's gonna be Ken and Ruby DD. Albert is looking for an angle to perhaps go for it. Pops in a Poissons, hovers over the turtle, goes in for the Retribution, but it's still gonna be Ken who wins it out in the end. And that's the first
Sans.
turtle on the board for Myanmar, technically. Shield Unity, Feather Airstrike, catching Zide as he flickers out with the Don't Run Wolf King. CW jumps in with the lazy
Wah,
Blade.
gila.
Will be able to take
Blazing
him down
duet
as he
from
goes
cewek
back towards that
Indonesia.
battle mirror image. Looking with the flicker only onto the wall, though. Loses that 1 HP bar and gets the reset on the Thunderclap, but is not in range.
Hati-hati belakang.
For that Thunderclap.
Oh,
Now another
diversion.
diversion.
Wah,
Loopy
belakang.
Papaton again. Loopy
Wah,
taunted up
belakang.
and locked down by the Spear of Misery. Justin gets rid
Wah,
of it. That's
belakang.
gonna be a good dodge by Keyboy, sidestepping away from the Praisers.
Kelas,
Now
boy.
re-engage coming down onto
Balik,
Myanmar.
boy.
Can't look for the damage, but Keyboy will out-sustain the Fredrin. And the Feather
Wah,
Airstrike that's popped in. The
Dude,
last one
guys, ya.
does connect to the flicker does.
kalah bet. Sans.
Sans continuing on the far side.
Gila.
Oh my
Sans.
goodness. I think that's all it's going to be is just
Farsa.
clash after clash and team fights, because so far that's what both these teams have wanted to do. And actually, when you watch them through the group stage, and we talked about exactly how this new patch, these new items, has changed the course of the game,
Gila,
This is the
chance.
highlight. Like, these are the ways, the play styles that these teams have. They've been known for before, and now it's even more so. Now we're gonna battle out with Ken, and it looks like they're gonna go for it.
Yeah, Albert did actually steal that away. Another feather
Bam.
airstrike as well. Ruby DD gonna be knocked up by Keyboy, and just with
The
those
key boy.
shields thrown out, Albert will be able to take him down. In the mid lane, Team Lutpi wanted to go for that turret. CW will
The
be able to get the
Lutpi.
tier 2 up top for free. However, no, not for free. Juno, good maneuvers to look for trades on the map.
On
Wow.
the map.
Okay, so again, Indonesia will still hold on to the lead that they've got themselves up to this point. They are furthering it a little bit more, and even with Myanmar, they've been making actually pretty good positioning plays with Justin utilizing that diversion. It's just unfortunate because they're kind of
Power mid-nya tinggal setengah ya
item
guys ya.
disparity or the economy lack here is really what's showing in some of these skirmishes and team fights. And so as they get ready for this Lord here, I think it's
Bisa tuh dapat
still
tuh.
a little tough for Myanmar to actually approach this fight because they're outgunned.
From
and
Myanmar.
out-item'd. Even with a good diversion play, if they can catch out a key target, which could be Sands, could be CW, then they might have the upper hand. Then they have to deal with Lutpi, especially on this Masha, like we said, with
The
the Sky
Lutpi.
Piercer already and other items locked in. So with that, Myanmar will actually go ahead and try to dance this off, it looks like. But even with Keyboy, early immortality picked up. He has the Primal Wrath still available as well. The placement and positioning here for Indonesia is really what's going to kind of set this apart. And that with the lead they have, look how front forward they can be. They can actually dominate this side of this Lord, zoning out the members of Myanmar. You have to wait because Ruby DD, where is he going to enter from? But
Albert.
fourth of the health.
Albert.
Ken's all alone.
Dapat,
Chase
Albert.
CC'd. Albert gonna be
Cakep,
able to
Albert.
pick up the Lord for free. Ken, he
Albert.
knocked it down. Lutpi walking forward. CW with a battle mirror image aggressively as well to the front. But Indonesia will just be happy with that trade.
Imbang-imbang
No
ya guys ya.
contest for Myanmar.
10-5 cuy.
Okay, no
Shieldnya.
contest for that one. Again, this is what I was saying. I think it'd be difficult for them to really contest that first Lord or even fight that fight. But, you know, the way that they come back into this game, even given the fact that 4,000 lead for Indonesia is really utilizing that
10.
diversion like they have. They've had some pretty good plays. But also Juno. Great thing Juno hasn't died yet. He hasn't gone down. He's been able to
BO3
farm up
guys,
pretty well. He's
BO3
got
best
the
of
3
3.
items. He's got the DHS, Corrosive Scythe. He's got the Golden Staff. So he should be able to pump out pretty good damage. Might work on that Wind of Nature next for a little defense. And he's going to be a key component in winning some of these fights. Not only that, but if Ruby DD can get the setup that he's looking for with this Dyroth pick, penetrate that armor and set things up here. What do you see?
Wait, did Albert just accidentally get 2 Sky Guardian helmets? I think he did, and he just sold the Sky Guardian helmet to buy another Ares belt. I think that might have been a mistake, man, and that's actually quite a costly one.
Langsung
It's
buat
a
helmet dia,
visual
cuy.
bug, or if it actually
Guardian
is true
helmet.
that he sold the Sky Guardian helmet, because I saw him pick it up, and
Yeah.
there was 2 in the inventory. Juno doing a good job at clearing up top lane now. CW gets rid of the tier 2 in the mid lane. As
The
Lutpi
top
as well
lane.
tries to do the same thing, but towards the tier 2 in the bottom lane. CW, the battle mirror image towards the fronts, trying to go for some damage onto Ken, but he will still be able to utilize that turret splash. to clear out the
Masya
waves.
Lutpi ya
It seems
guys
for
ya.
Indonesia, they want to get rid of all the turrets, all the base turret splashes with the First Lord.
Yeah, that's probably the best that they can do for now. Even with the lead that they have, they still have to respect the fact that, like I said, setup potential from Myanmar is actually pretty good. And Juno hasn't died. And
Udah
because
siap
he
dah
has
Moskop,
the
cuy.
3 items that he really needs to lock in,
Dari
he
Myanmar.
doesn't have to worry so much about having the Wind of Nature just yet, as long as they're on the
Ya,
defense. Once they
BOD.
start kind of pressing forward a little bit, obviously
BOD
Juno's going to want some
sudah
of that
jadi
defensive,
Lutfi.
but he's all, right now he's, oh, hold on. Ken should be fine. Gets thrown up into the air. This is all the battle for the orange, though.
Okay,
Kemana
that's
dia?
shooting it as well. Now into the Earth Shatter as he gets the
Wah,
stun down.
belakang.
Ken will be
Wah,
back again
belakang.
with the onward. They go for a flying on the sound, but he's still able to survive right
Wah,
now. Feather
belakang.
Airstrike popped in, but gets caught
Chance.
by Petrify as they look for Justin now.
Hilang
Who's going to
chance.
be completely isolated. Lutpi with
Dia
another
kejar,
thunderclap. And you might as well
Dia
call
keroyok
it the
ya, guys, ya.
Thunder Piercer, because that's what it is on the Masha.
Mantap,
The HP
Indo.
bar just disappears whenever he goes for that thunderclap.
Mantap,
Albert and Keyboy
Indonesia.
joining Zide and Ruby DD. None of the backliners alive
NT,
from
cuy.
Myanmar. Indonesia can go for the end right now. Battle mirror image. That's gonna be the onward to cancel out.
Kalah
And we saw the
banget.
re-engage from Zide. Ruby DD all alone.
Adik-adik.
They're gonna go straight for it. Lutpi again.
Mati ya, guys, ya.
Clap in the Sky Piercer
1-0.
to assassinate Ruby DD to
Kita
claim
lanjut
game
ke
number
game yang
1
kedua.
for Indonesia.
Jangan lupa subscribe dan nyalakan loncengnya.